Aquarius, welcome to the realm of astrology. This is your monthly horoscope for August 2021. But before we begin, I would like to let you know that I do daily video horoscopes, weekly video horoscopes, and monthly sunrise and sign horoscopes that you can watch all on my YouTube channel. I also request you to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Alright, and Aquarius, I don't know if you watched me last month, but in my last month's video, I had asked you if you'd like a long-term energy reading video, things like where Saturn is, things like where Uranus is, and what all that means. And the reason I asked you that is because energies do change day to day, moment to moment, month to month. However, certain themes can stay with us for years, and that's because of the long term energies, the outer planets. So I've made a video on that for you, Aquarius, and if it's not already on my channel, it will be out soon. So just if you're interested, that's out there as well, which will help you understand the long-term energies in your chart. Now, that being said, let's talk about the month of August. And this is for Aquarius rising and Aquarius sun, preference given to your rising sign first and then your sun sign. And this reading, as you can see on the chart, is a 0-degree Aquarius rising, right? So if you're, say, a 28, 29-degree Aquarius rising, you might just resonate more with a Pisces reading. So I just thought I'd mention that. And let's talk about what's happening for you, Aquarius. First of all, August is an extremely intense month. And there are a lot of squares, there are a lot of oppositions. The sun for the major part of August is going to be in the sign of Leo, opposing Saturn, because Saturn is in Aquarius. The Leo energy will be opposing the energy of Saturn. So it can be a very intense month. And what this means is that a lot is going to happen, right? It can feel stressful, but out of squares and oppositions is where we get things done, is where the things happen. So August is one such month. And the beginning of the month starts like that. A lot of intensity, a lot of action, a lot of change. But in this video, I'm going to talk about the most important events of the month. So I'll start with August 8th, which is the new moon in the sign of Leo. Now this is happening at 16 degrees of Leo right here, which makes it your 7th house Aquarius. And a new moon is typically a new beginning. Yes, it's a new beginning in Leo things, but more importantly, it's a new beginning where 16 degrees of Leo lies in your chart, in which in this case mostly is your 7th house, right? So there's a new beginning for you in your legal relationships. What are those? Marriage, spouse, in-laws, business relationships, that sort of things. This is also the house of legal issues. So there could be a new beginning in that area as well. But Aquarius, let's talk about this new beginning a little bit more, because this new beginning is opposing the energy of Saturn. It's a 7-degree orb, yes, but Saturn energy is opposing this beginning. And what does that mean? That means that this beginning, yes, it will happen, but it might feel challenging. It might require us to work hard. It might get delayed because Saturn is there opposing the new moon, saying, hey, what else do you need to work on? You know, it can be a beginning that can be slightly frustrating. It can be a feeling of, I want this, it's almost happening, but I feel stuck in this beginning that's coming about. And that's because Saturn is there asking us, all of us, what more work do you need to put in, right? And for you, Aquarius, I'm going to deviate from the monthly a little bit and go into Saturn because that's important. Saturn is in your sign, which if you're an Aquarius rising is in your 1st house. And Saturn, whether it's hitting your sun or the planets close to your sun or in your 1st house, it is going to feel quite challenging. And in the 1st house, Saturn comes in and asks you to work on your identity. And this is usually a time where you start to construct a new identity of sorts. It requires a lot of hard work and discipline. So Saturn is in your sign and will be till 2023. So these 3 years, starting 2020 December till 2023 March, can feel very intense for you, Aquarius. Can require a lot of hard work for you. Can feel like you're putting in all the effort, but no rewards are coming for you. Because Saturn is in Aquarius right now. Okay, so that's the first thing, the new moon in Leo, which will make a new beginning in your house of marriage, legal relationships, business partnerships, but that beginning is challenged by Saturn, asking you to work hard, asking you to put things in order before this new beginning can come about. Now, the next thing happens on August 11th, and Mercury here is going to leave the sign of Leo and enter your 8th house. Now, Mercury is our mind, it's our mental energy. It's also our routine, health, job, day-to-day habits, all those sort of things. But primarily, it's our mind, it's mental energy. And whichever house Mercury is in, our mental energy and our communication is focused on those things. And the 8th house is a house of many things, right? It's the house of endings. It's the house of transformation. It's the house of beginnings. It's the house of personal karma. It's the house of investments, intimate relationships, healing, regeneration, occult things, hidden things. All those are 8th house matters. So your mind will be focused on one of these things. I cannot say which one of these. It could be anyone. Perhaps that you're going through a transformation of sorts. Perhaps your mind, your communication is very much focused on that. Perhaps even your health and job are somewhere involved in that area. And Mercury is our health, right? So this could be a point where 8th house is healing. Our health could be healing or transforming. So 8th house is a lot of things, but the mental energy will be directed to these things. It could be that your mental energy communication is focused on an intimate relationship in your life. So that begins on August 11th. Then on August 15th, we will have the first quarter square of the moon begin, which will last the whole week. And during this week, beginning August 15th to about August 22nd, we will be focused on overcoming obstacles, making adjustments, challenges to the new beginning that you had in your house of legal relationships, marriage, business partnerships. There's something about that beginning this week from August 15th to August 22nd that you will need to, make adjustments with, overcome certain challenges associated with that. That's the vibe of the whole week. And then on August 19th, I believe, Uranus is going to go retrograde in your 4th house. Now, wherever Uranus is in your chart, firstly, Uranus is an outer planet. It is a slow moving energy. And wherever Uranus is, through the matters of that house, it asks us to be our unique self. So it will get rid of anything or bring things into our life that will help us find our uniqueness, find our authentic self. And for you, that's your 4th house, your family, your home, could be a physical home, your deepest emotions, your closest friends. So Uranus in your 4th house is going to go retrograde, and retrograde planets bring up the past. They are the period where we receive the rewards for the work we've put in their karmic time as well. So in your 4th house, that's what Uranus is going to be doing, making you review the past connected to your home, family, foundation, deepest emotions, perhaps bring you some rewards connected to those things in your life. And when I said Uranus helps you connect with your unique self, it could be that there's a physical location, a home that's more suited to you being your unique self. Uranus will bring that into your life. Or if there is some deep emotion that's preventing you from being yourself, Uranus will get rid of that. So that's the Uranian energy. And it's sudden and it's unexpected. And it's in your 4th house and it's going to retrograde there. And Uranus retrograde marks a point where all outer planets are retrograde. Pluto is retrograde, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, Chiron, and now Uranus has gone retrograde as well, which means a lot of review of the past, which means approaching the past from a different perspective, which also means a karmic payback time. Now, this can be positive or negative, that I cannot say, but with Uranus, this is connected to your 4th house of friends, closest friends, family, foundation, home, roots, ancestors. Oh, and I forgot to mention one thing that happens on August 16th. It's that Venus is going to enter the sign of Libra, and that means it's going to enter your 9th house Aquarius. And Venus is a benefic, okay? It brings with it gifts and blessings. And it is also a planet that makes us more receptive to a particular area in our life, the area that it is transiting. So for you, Aquarius, it is going to enter your 9th house, bringing you gifts, rewards, and making you more receptive to your ninth house, higher education, wisdom, foreign travel, um, pretty much, yeah, higher education, wisdom, foreign travel, that sort of thing. And if publishing applies to you in some way, then that as well. And then we come to the most important event of the month, and that is the full moon in Aquarius. It's happening at 29 degrees of Aquarius. All right. So it's going to fall about here at 29 degrees, and the sun's going to be here. Okay. So that means it's going to be in your first and seventh house. Now, what is a full moon? A full moon is a culmination point. It is a point of clarity. It is a point of understanding and seeing things. Seeing the beginning that you had. Now, the first beginning that you're able to see with more clarity at this point is what you started on August 8th, connected to your marriage, legal relationships, business partners, etc. The second thing, and the more important thing, is a new beginning that happened in December of 2020, as well as Feb of 2021. All right, and that was in your first house. That was in your sign. So there was a new beginning connected to your identity, to who you are becoming, to how you present yourself to the world. And with this full moon, that'll become more clear. But let me also mention that this full moon in Aquarius is very special because this is the second full moon in Aquarius we're having this year. We had another one last month, and now we're having one again this month. And that's special because typically we have one full moon in a sign in the whole year. This year we have two in the sign of Aquarius. This is special. And it will also be an intense full moon. Why? Because Saturn is, although not in a close distance, but Saturn energy is there, right? So that's what's going to happen on August 22nd. And on the same day, the sun is going to leave your 7th house and enter your 8th house. And wherever the sun is, that for that month, for those 30 days, that becomes the area that's most illuminated in our life, right? And for you till August 22nd, it was the house of marriage, spouse, legal relationships, business partners that was really highlighted. But now from August 22nd onwards, the house that's really going to be highlighted for you is going to be your 8th house. And like I said, the 8th house has many things: intimate relationships, investments, personal karmic things, occult things, hidden things, regeneration, healing, catharsis, transformation, endings, beginnings, a lot of things. And for the next 30 days, beginning on August 22nd, that is going to be the focus, because the sun is going to enter the sign of Virgo. And this is when the pressure will begin to ease off as well, because I mentioned that August is going to be an intense month, right? And one of the reasons for that was that the sun here will be opposing the sign of Aquarius where Saturn is, asking us to work hard. But now the sun's moved on to Virgo. It's not opposing Saturn energy. It's not opposing the sign of Aquarius anymore, which means the energy will start to kind of ease off a little bit. And then on August 30th, Mercury will enter your 9th house. It's made its way through your 8th house, and now it's going to enter your 9th house. And here your mental energy, communication, routine habits will all be in some ways influenced by or influencing higher education, foreign travel, wisdom, knowledge, adventure. That's what you're going to be thinking about or communicating about. Or perhaps your routine will be adjusted because of these things, or your health or your job. And August 30th is also the day we begin the last quarter square of the moon, which is the last time the sun and the moon make their 90-degree angle before the new moon next month. And for the next 7 days, starting on August 30th, the focus will be release, letting go of what? Of the things that we began on August 8th, but that don't serve us anymore. And for you, that's connected to your 7th house of marriage, spouse, legal relationships, business partners, legal issues, things like that. So that's the basic overview of the month for you. This is an intense month. It will require a lot of hard work. It is also the month that will bring a lot of clarity to the new cycle of 20 years that started in December of 2020. And for you, that is connected to who you are becoming, Aquarius. The conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter happened at 0 degrees of Aquarius, which is you, your identity, right? Saturn is asking you to work on you, your identity, your leadership, all that stuff. So you will begin to understand that. And now I will pick a card for you and then we can close it out. Okay. You have two cards that have fallen out. One is Loyal Heart and the other is Not For You. And I think this, to me, just is the focus in your 7th house, right? Loyal Heart, the two lovers kind of sitting there loyal to one another. If the focus this month is your 7th house of marriage, your spouse, business partnerships, legal relationships. So whatever you go through this month in that area, keep a loyal heart. Remember, there's something to be said about being loyal. I'm not saying that you aren't. I'm just saying that this month the energy is emphasizing being loyal, having a loyal heart. This is a positive card for your 7th house. I think that's a better way to put it. It's representing positivity in your 7th house of marriage, business partnerships, legal issues, things like that. And I think this month, Aquarius, you'll have to figure out what is not for you anymore. You have entered, Saturn is in your sign, your 1st house. And like I said, you're going to have to work on your identity, reconstructing it. And it just left your 12th house in December of 2020, right? Which meant that you closed out a 28th, 30-year cycle. So what from the past you need to let go of? What is not for you any longer? Figure that out, right? What in your identity, in who you are becoming, is not for you? You'll have to figure that out as well. That's all I'm going to say for you, Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Do hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, and I will see you all in one of my other videos. Bye.